when I'm going throughout the hospital or wherever I may be. So
Nice.
I like saying that. That's something Ron would say. Yeah, definitely something Ron would say.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful this morning to everybody. Thank you. Thank you for those of us who are here. Father, we thank you for this day. This is the day that you have made, and we are going to rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for your purpose and your plan for our life on November 5th, 2025. And we thank you for every man and every woman. We thank you for the ability to reason within ourselves and to rationalize and to gather our hurts and our pains, our joys and our successes. Continue to make us one in all that we do with ourselves. I pray this now in your son Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. I'm so excited about all that's going on and all that we're seeing in the earth, all that is transpiring as we are living, as we are gathering, as we are moving about, as we are working, and all the other wonderful things that we do in life in general. And I want to welcome everyone to the mental healthness to wellness. I'm grateful for um, just the space. It's uh, just the space. Um, Hold on, I just got to do one particular thing. Okay. One particular thing I just needed to pull up, but I want to thank everybody again for your participation and for those who have been sharing and being a part of this particular platform as we delve into from day one, since we've been almost 2 years now, embarking on not too far from 2 years of dealing with mental illness, mental health, and wellness. Not so much mental illness, even though we do tap and have tapped into those particular parts of the human challenges. But I'm grateful for the consistency and for the audience and those who will ascribe to and understand what our vision is. The vision of Unpack, I mean, or mental healthness or wellness, rather, the vision of this platform is to supersede and further understand, bring further understanding to that after our religious practices and observances, there still is the challenges emotionally and psychologically, undiagnosed challenges that many of us have not really tapped into or don't know how to tap into. And we have been layering it up over, we have been living in our religious practices and observances after our weekly gathering before COVID, pre COVID, during COVID, post COVID. This revelation came to me that we, as religious people, regardless of what particular religious practice you may be a part of, hey, Tasha, you made it. Yes. Regardless of what religious practice you may be practicing, or you may practice part time, full time, or whatever per diem. Some people practice their faith per diem wise. And I'm talking schedule wise. However, um, trauma, hurt, and pain does not discriminate. It has nothing to do with your faith or practice. But I realized that I grew up in a very, very religious, Pentecostal, holiness, apostolic environment, very religious. And I danced, shout, got prophesied over, did shut-ins, spoken tongues, unknown tongues, however you want to say it, all of those particular things, and still preach, teach, prophesy, and did not know how to really find me or unpack my issues as far as what I was going through. And I found that to be true. Hey, Lamisha, I found that to be true, not just with me, but so many other people like me in like faith and in faith in general. We'll go home after we leave the religious setting, whether you're Baptist, Pentecostal, Holiness, Apostolic, whether you're Episcopalian, whether you're Zion, whether you're whatever faith you ascribe to, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Muslim, whether you're a Jewish, Buddhist, Hindu, I don't care what faith it is. Many times people do not know how to locate the trauma that they've experienced, and we will practice a faith. Not so much. Let me just say this because I'm out there now. We'll practice a faith, and many times our faith does not teach us how to deal with the psychological aspect of the trauma, the aftermath of the trauma. And so, what it has done, it has taught us to rather deal with the symptoms of the trauma. We treat symptoms. Religion, in so many facets, only treats symptoms. Now, I'm grateful that I know Christ, I know the word. Now that I know that I was symptom driven, and I challenge everyone who's listening because you were too when it came to your faith. Your faith did not teach you how to deal with the. We dealt with the spiritual, but not the psychological of it. And I believe that even demons and people who are struggling with or are challenged with a particular bondage, whether it's emotional bondage, whether it's an infirmity with sickness, whether it's unclean spirit, whether you're challenged with a lust or perversion of any sort, um, anger in the heart, unforgiveness. Notice I'm dealing with things and speaking on things that are internal, because what faith and religion has done, it teaches us how to do it and how to dress up the external, but not really deal with and go and deal with the uncomfortable part of the internal issues, right? So that's why we are here. That's why we don't want to run, jump, shout, scream, holler, give over all the trauma that we've covered up and we dress up and we digress from, we project, blame, hide, run, deflect. Yes, because I firmly believe that faith in these practices has taught us how to deflect and not how to deal with the uncomfortability of when we arrive to our issue, when we arrive. And I promise you, there are many times you have arrived, but you didn't know what to do with you when you arrived. You didn't know how to handle when you arrived to that problem. It hurts so bad to talk about. It hurts so bad to deal with. So flight comes. We flight, deflect, defense, offense, all that comes out. And I believe that that's a part of the carnal part of the flesh that wants to protect the mess, that wants to protect the pain, that wants to protect the the undiagnosed parts of us. That's why the uncomfortability comes. That's why the awkwardness comes. That's why the shame comes up. That's why the fight, because it's trying to protect the flesh. It wants to protect it. I just said a whole lot in such a short time. I want to deal with. We told you this past Monday, as we talked about narcissism and narcissistical ways and how to identify and what that really looks like. And I believe with all sincerity that every one of us have a sort or some sort of narcissistical traits. It's a personality. It's a part of our makeup. Hey, Marshana, hey, Kay. It's a part of our makeup. Our narcissistical traits is a part of who we are. You can't escape it. It's a part. It's a disorder. It's one of the things that we are faced and challenged with. If you own anything, if you have anything of yours that you've grown to, that you've purchased, that now that you're on your own, there is a selfish part of you that is justifiable. It's a selfish part of you that's mine. I work for it. Wait a minute. Watch what you do there. No, this is about me right now. There's a selfish part of you that is I believe is justifiable, is needful, and is necessary when it comes to your self-worth, when it comes to your self-esteem, when it comes to building up oneself again. There is a part of you that must stand up for you. Are you hearing me? Are you understanding this? Right? There is a part of you that should fight and defend you, should fight and be empathic toward you, should fight and advocate for you. Who advocates for you? So this word narcissism is loosely spoken of, loosely shouted out and pinned on people because somebody in your life have either labeled you like that or you are labeling somebody because we do have narcissistical traits. I want you to understand that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We do have them. Everybody, to some degree, have a narcissistical trait. Now, let me just add this: it should not be the dominant trait. It should not stand out more, the most. Like when I cook, there are times I've been cooking a lot lately. I've been exploring the kitchen. I've been chef bro. Oh no, I've been really doing it right. I've been exploring recipes and plus it's sexy to cook. I think cooking is sexy. So I'm exploring various types. Hey Letitia, I'm exploring various types of seasonings that I would not normally utilize, capers or um, um, I'm exploring the various types of onions and garlic and and I realize that you can put too much of one thing in and it will take over the recipe. It will take over the beef or it will take over the seasoning. And some seasonings you don't need a lot of, like ginger or like garlic or like onion powder, or whatever it may be, because it will dominate unless that's your end goal. Maybe that's what you want to. Maybe you are a Bobby Flay candidate. That ingredient has to be the star of the show. I don't know. But I do understand. I said all that to say is the perfect combination when it works together, when it's measured out properly because too much of anything can be dangerous. I'm going to say that again. Too much of anything can be dangerous. So, that narcissistical part that everyone has is a trait amongst many deficiencies or disorders that we all have. I don't want to bust your bubble, but yeah, there's something wrong with all of us, right? And I mean that what I just said. I said what I said. There's something wrong, right? And I'm not being facetious or cynical or sarcastic. I really do believe that everybody on this planet have some form of undiagnosed trauma. There are people again who've never served in the military. Thank you, Ron, for your service. We do have some veterans in the room, veterans watching, and I'm grateful for your service. But I said, and I only brought up the military personnel, be it veterans or those who are active, because you don't have to have having had served in the military to experience post traumatic stress disorder (PTSD). Living through a relationship that failed, there's PTSD. Growing up bullied, there's PTSD. Growing up overlooked is PTSD. Having a house full of people who were competitive and now you're out of it, is PTSD. Moving from one job to another is PTSD, right? Surviving threats of unemployment or layoffs is PTSD. Growing up black, Spanish, Haitian, Cape Verdean in this country nowadays, it is PTSD. Growing up around and being around people who are self centered and judgmental and highly volatile and competitive is PTSD. In your current relationships, if you are in one, it's PTSD. It's PTSD. I should say CTSD. I'm gonna make that up. That's a new one. Current stress, this PTSD. All right, post traumatic, current traumatic stress disorder is real. Oh, I'm gonna have to put that down. Somebody text that to me if you got my number. I'm gonna have to explore that CTSD. I'm gonna have to work that. Current stress, current traumatic stress disorder is a real thing. Current. We always want to deal with the post when it happened. Let's deal with stuff that's pending, that's ongoing. Current traumatic stress disorder. I'm gonna have to make that a thing. That's a Marshall thing, all right? Current, I'm gonna work that. Lamisha, Latasha, I'm gonna work that. Okay, yes, I am. Current traumatic stress disorder. You heard it here first. Current traumatic stress disorder. So when we were talking about narcissism this past Monday, right? This past session, it is really a weapon. It has become weaponized because somebody can label you as narcissistic, and that's all they think about you. They forget all that you've done. They forget the person that you are, all that you've gone through, and they don't realize that cause and effect is showing up now. And when you do explode because of implosion, because you implode before you explode. And sometimes we do it at the same time. Imploding meaning that you were already furious about it. Imploding meaning that you gave it time. You were away from them, the person, the place, or the thing. And you were imploding because you were rehashing what they did, what they did not do, what they said, what they did not say. You were rehashing like all that you've done. Whew, you're you're building yourself up. You're angry. You're getting more and more angrier. That is a real thing, and that's when the implosion take place. That's when the boom shakalaka laka laka boom 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 comes out because you had time to build up. That pressure in you was building up, and then they said one more thing. If they said ooh, 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 you had that mentally. You may not have done it, but you had a ooh, I wish they would. Ooh, I wish they would, and they did, and you didn't. Right? Yes. You ever had those moments? Ooh, you psyched yourself up. You were bigging yourself up. And ooh, let me. If they say it won't, if they say ooh, you were imploding. And all they needed to do was strike a match, a little spark, a little flame. Poof, now you explode. There was cause and effect. And some people are labeled for exploding or imploding. You're labeled narcissist because you, and it said that you have made it about you. When the reality is you weren't listened to, you weren't legitimately heard, you weren't legitimately validated. And it's tough recovering or healing around the person who is doing the violating or in the community or environment of the violator. And they don't know they're violating because they don't think they're violating. And many times people are projecting in them onto you. They're projecting onto you on how they are really feeling or what they're struggling with. How do I know? Can I tell you how I know? Because I did it. I was there. I was there. Did I know I was there? No, I didn't. Did not know. Could not see me. Did not know it. As a man, as a husband, as a father, as a pastor, as a teacher, as an entrepreneur, all the roles that I was playing, I projected. When it came to where the rubber meet the road, when it came to where I had to deal with and see me, oh, oh, ooh. And then when I didn't deal with it, that word narcissistic came out, or I threw it at I threw it back, right? So what I want to clear up today is the understanding of the narcissistic mind. I talked about the two sides and how things build up in many cases, how someone shapes themselves into everything about them. But then this past week we talked about this past Monday we talked about the hypersensitive people and how hypersensitive people are borderline narcissistic or can be connected to narcissistic because of what's unresolved. And there is a hurt behind it. There's a hurt behind it. I think narcissism is really, really not as difficult to overcome and to be free and delivered from or managed. Because right now, um, it's important for us to understand what it is. So because when you look at the hypersensitive person, right, they make everything about them. There's somebody in your life who makes everything about them. Everything, every argument, you can talk to them about new shoes you got. They're gonna outdo your shoes. They're gonna outdo your hair, whatever you got, whatever your child, your son graduated with honors. Well, my son had honors when he was 2 years old. What? I mean, you have somebody who makes everything about them. Yeah, they have a talent and a knack for finding ways to get offended. It's a knack. It's really good. They assume every comment, every glance, every look when someone's looking at them or action as secretly about them. They make it all about them. Oh, that's what their assumptions are, right? This is not an intuition that's coming from them. It's really an insecurity. It's an insecurity because deep down they are displeased or they just don't like themselves. They're not happy with themselves. They want more and don't know how to get out of their own way, right? And the proof of that to them is how others they feel that others treat them, right? They look for proof that others do too. So if you say something or feel something, that validates what they don't feel about themselves or how they feel about themselves. That really validates, right? So their insecurities are displayed right through the offense. They can't take feedback. People who are hypersensitive cannot take feedback, do not like any level of feedback. People who are legitimately hypersensitive and borderline narcissistic or have narcissistic tendencies cannot take feedback. They don't care about you trying to explain what you were trying to say. That one offense, they're going to hold on to it. Trigger words. Anything you say can and will be used against you. That's a real situation when you're dealing with a hypersensitive, borderline narcissistic person, right? They only care about how it makes them feel. These are some of the things that we went over, right? Even gentle feedback feels like an attack. That's how hurt and sore they are. That's how damaged they are. You touch them a little, everything hurts. Everything is exaggerated and embellished. Pray for me because that was one of my challenges. Tasha, I did not and I do not like exaggerators. Pray for me. That's a pet peeve. I just let it out. People who embellish, people who blow things up, make things a whole lot bigger than what they are. Ilk. I get they get ilk. I'm ilking people. They don't realize it. Pray for me. I just told y'all one of my flaws and my pet peeves. I be ilking. Like, why you do all that? Ugh. You hit the ground running 0 to 100 walking in 3 seconds. Why'd you take? Ugh. Anyway, I just had a moment. I gotta unpack that, right? So even gentle feedback feels like an attack to them, right? And they don't want the truth. They want reassurance. They don't want the truth. Prove to me I'm right. Oh, she didn't like me. That's why they don't come around me. Oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that, right? They want reassurance. And if you don't give them the reassurance they need, they will overreact. And overreaction may be shutting down quick, leaving. It has many forms. It can be several different things that, they shut down. They may not leave physically, but they left emotionally. Still there. attitude change, body language change. And if I'm talking to you, I'm just talking to you. That's something that you and I, if it's me, have to track and unpack. Hey, KP, you made it, right? They hold grudges. Hypersensitive people, people who are borderline narcissistic or full-blown narcissistic, hold grudges. Their emotions hijack their logic. And sometimes their logic hijack their emotions. It's real. These are real, what did I say? See, current traumatic stress disorders. That's CTSD. Yes. We talked about post traumatic stress disorder after it's over, after you survive the Holocaust in the relationship, you survive the Holocaust in the family crisis, you survive the Holocaust on the job crisis, in the spiritual community crisis, because we do have those Holocausts, we do have those devastations, and many of us have been hurt some way, some shape, some form or another in and from church and from people in our spiritual community. We've been hurt. I've been there, done that, got a t-shirt, bump stick, and a coffee mug. And then there are times I caused the pain. Ooh, it's the real circumstance. So when we talk about hypersensitive reactions, hypersensitive emotional reactions, hypersensitive things, all right, I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from living it and having been it, and still identifying if I am it, because I want to be able to identify me, right? So I can own what I'm going through and not deflect, project, hide, run, or blame. As a man, first, before any other roles that I take on and that I have. This is about you identifying you in your current, in your at your present time, right? So people who are hypersensitive and which is in many cases is due to narcissism or a really strong selfish part of them. I sense that there are people who are labeled narcissists because you're tired of taking people's stuff. And then when you start pulling back and taking back, you're labeled selfish. You're labeled, oh, but you gave so much of yourself, so much. And many times, I'm gonna tell you what, this is what I know for certain. Y'all ready for this? I know for certain that we can give too much of ourselves too soon. Dang, that was good. We can give too much of ourselves too soon to somebody who did not and do not possess the ability to handle who we are. Yeah, we gave too much of our heart too soon, too much of our mind too soon, too much of our trust too soon. They didn't do much to earn it. You know, when I talk to people who are dating or in people who are getting to know somebody, you date the representative first. All of us send out representatives. We send out reps first. Did I say reps? REPS? Yes, we do. We show the best of us first, the good part. We show the reps, and we show the representative is dope, kind, pleasant, caring, thoughtfulness, patient. The rep is, is just over like nice. The rep, you know how it is when you first date. You go out on a date. Let's use that as a metaphor. You ain't passing gas, you ain't picking your teeth, you ain't burping out loud. I say ain't. You're not doing any of those things. You're not pulling the wedgie out. You're not, ooh, you're not rude and loud. Well, you're not obnoxious. You are just putting on your best performance because the representative is there. Rep. But now the crazy is there too, or the off is there, the insecure is there, but they're just watching on the date. Oh, they're there. All the traumas that all the undiagnosed parts, it's there on the date. It's there. I just like using that because we are people and people of habit, people of we're predictable, right? So the hypersensitive person has narcissistical traits, has narcissistical ways about themselves. They find a way to rewrite the story, no matter how you say it, how you explain it. They find a way to redirect the whole atmosphere and conversation and make it about them, their hurt, their pain. You hurt me instead of we are misunderstanding each other. They don't want to hear about us. It's me. It's I. It's about me. You need help. I don't. You need therapy. I don't. You need treatment. I don't. You needed to get it together, and I don't. Right? They stay angry. They stay bitter. They hold a grudge. Grudge is a past offense. There's no accountability there. So we asked the question, and we ended last session with: can you be in a relationship or stay connected to somebody who is um, narcissistic, selfish? And our answer was yes, you can. Are you around? Some people are in it right now. A narcissistical person who makes every single thing about him or her. And what happens now, your emotions are in distress because they're not dealt with, they're not considered. You are in distress. And I'm going to tell you why you're in distress. It's a part of you that is hoping that the situation is going to change. A part of you is hoping that he or she one day gonna get it. You've been praying. Whoo, sha-da-da-da-da. You've been fasting for her, for him, for them, the situation. I don't care how much prayer and fasting you do. It is more psychological. I don't care how much you pray that God change him. Well, Lord Jesus, Lord God, change her. Change it. No, it's not gonna work. I'm putting that out there. I ain't saying that prayer don't change things. I do believe it does. But it changes you until things change. That's the power of prayer. It deals with you. And because many times we can use prayer from a witchy perspective. Change him, Lord. Fix her, Lord. Yes, do it, Lord. Change what? Huh? What? That's manipulation. You want God to go into their mind and change their ways. They have to see themselves. They have to. Now, can you still be with them and they don't see themselves? Absolutely. It's a choice, which ultimately speaks to it being voluntary. You can voluntarily stay in a situation when that person is telling you who they are. And it may not be narcissism, it may just be they're so broken. They're so belabored, so overwhelmed, so don't know how, never was taught as a man how to run to the problem instead of running from the problem. Never was taught as a woman how to run to the problem and not run from the problem. They weren't taught because we men aren't the only ones that run. Let's get that right. I'm outnumbered, but Ron, we are, but we're not the only one that run. Women, y'all run too. Y'all prance and y'all do it differently, but you do run. You will deflect. You will project. You will hide. You will blame. You ain't no different. CTSD is a real. It's real. It's just that God wired y'all differently. Really, really wired y'all differently. And in relationships, it can really work real good for us as men if it's harnessed and used right. Because I believe that all women, I was talking to a brother yesterday. Yesterday it was. I was counseling somebody yesterday, and he was just blaming his girl, blaming his wife, and blah 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 blah. We were talking, and they're really good people, right? But he was trying to paint her out as someone crazy and insecure. She's insecure. I'm like, so I listened, let him talk, let him talk, let him talk, let him talk. And I said, and she's a wise woman. I counseled them both. And one of the things that I've concluded, and I told him again, that discernment that's on her, that knowing that women have, that it's a gift. I said, what do you say? He was a little reluctant. I said, okay, to admit that his girl, his wife, had that gift on her and it's operable. Sometimes women, you can't turn it off. You just know, you can tell a heifer. Did I say a heifer? You can tell someone who is a liar. You can tell, you can see motive and intent. The crazy thing about it, it's not just working when it's another woman who, it don't just work on women when it comes to your man, right? It works on your children. No, leave that son, leave that boy, girl, leave them alone. It works with your sibling. Nah, something wrong with them. It works while you're at work for a coworker. You just have a knowing. It's called a sixth sense. It's called, that's what I call it, right? And I've been calling that for 20 years now. This is not nothing old that I've been saying and come at least, if not over 20 years, right? And I told him, I said, your mother has the same ability, but you don't call her insecure. Your aunt, your grandmother, your sister, your cousin, your female cousin has the same. So his eyes opened up. So all of them are secure. He said, no. I said, why your wife got to be insecure? Why can't she just be prophetic in her own way, a sense of knowing? Because what we don't understand, we have the tendency to be against. So we can be against something, and men, it can work to our advantage. We just ask the women to make sure you are secure with when you are sharing. Don't share it from a hurt place and from a manipulative place, because we men want to believe you. I know I do anyway. I want to believe like the woman that I'm with has a knowing, but it's harnessed, it's seasoned, it's careful, it's not being manipulative, it's not being witchy, it's not being crafty and cunning and intentional and spiteful. That is a part of a real thing with us, right? So that knowing, you have that ability, ladies. I Oh God, y'all, it's big, and some of y'all in the room got it on you real bad, and that's a good thing because, and don't let nobody cheapen that with you. Don't let anybody make you feel that you are becoming too much. No, you're enough. You are enough, and I want to tell you, every one of you women and men, people in the room today who's listening, who will go back and listen to it, you are enough, right? So when we talk about the narcissistical part of staying with somebody who is selfish, extremely selfish, right? Can you stay? Yes, but you are volunteering. hmm You are voluntarily accepting your discomfort. hmm Where you are deliberately putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation to build resilience and willpower. That's all you're doing. It's time wasted in many cases. It's time wasted. So many times I hear people, individual people say, I don't need help. I don't got the problem. They got the problem. He got the problem. She got the problem. I'm not the problem. That's what is said nowadays over and over and over and over. And it's almost, if you're staying in it, it becomes borderline intentional. You may not see it as being intentional, but it is, because you have to become important to you. I say this because, and I say this not jokingly, but I'm so serious. I appreciate consistent people. If somebody is in your life and they are consistent, somebody say, no, don't say that with a selfish person, run. I concur. I love that. I agree with her, but some people stay. So I'm talking to the person who stayed because that's your choice to stay. You're voluntarily staying in it when they are consistently saying it's about me. It's a consistency. You don't have to hide. They're not changing. This is who I am. They're displaying it, they're showing it, they're saying it. They're saying it more than they're displaying it, or they're doing both. But your prayers are there, Father, change him. I don't care how much you pray for somebody until they acknowledge they need help and go get help. That's when you should, I feel, this is my strong feeling that you should consider on, okay, this is going to get better, right? Right? Because they're acknowledging instead of them remedying their sickness. Let's use the physical sickness metaphor. They instead of them remedying their because people will stay home and try to fix themselves with over-the-counter drugs and homeopathics ingredients and ways that your grandmama had gave you. You know, we'll take other people's remedies and how they, you know, what they did and how they did. That's what we'll do. You know, and we'll stay home and it gets worse. So many people have died from cancer or a particular sickness because they tried to fix it themselves or they were afraid to go to a general doctor or to ED or to get checked out. Certain things got worse. Error increases with time. When I had this lump on my arm right here, as soon as I felt the dry, it was hard. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know. Last October, November, it got hard. I was like, what is this? And then coming into January, it grew to the size of a bottle cap. And it wasn't hurting me, but I was moving it. And I was like, what is this? I've seen something abnormal growing on my body. So what I did, I've had it checked out. Went to my orthopedic. He looked at it. He didn't know exactly what it was. March, I had it removed, right? March. He sent it up, or April, I had it moved, one of those days. Yeah, I had to move, right? Wait for the test to come back. It tested as cancer. It was cancer on my arm, right? So I went to the cancer professionals, cancer department there at Yale. And as I went there, they gave me a POC, a plan of care, what they wanted to do. They looked at it. He, the oncologist looked at it, told me exactly what it is, what they're going to do. Went in, operated. First time I ever had this level of any level of operation on my life. And so this here, as you can see, is a result of the removal or the extraction of a cancer. They cut the cancer down to my bone. If I showed you a picture, and some of you have seen it, the picture of my skin, it was down to the bone. They cut it all out and they successfully removed it. The next week, I had cosmetic surgery. They took a tattoo that was on my forearm, Faith, Faith. They took it from here and removed the tattoo from here and put it here. Right now, you can see Faith, where the cancer was. Then they took a skin graft from my gut. They didn't take enough of my gut out. I wish they would have taken more. Anyway, and they put it here and there, and I'm cancer free, no chemo, no radiation. And the oncologist said if I would have waited, I said all that to say, he said if I would have waited and let it go, there was a possibility I would have lost my arm or this hand. But I'm glad that God had gave me enough resilience and common sense and strength to have it checked out. I wasn't trying to, I just I went to a profession, and I said that to say, and I'm grateful every day. No pain, and I have no aftermath. I didn't have to take any of the Tylenol with codeine, any of that, because I just didn't have pain, and pain free, no chemo, no radiation. Because people like this have died from this level of cancer that spread because error increases with time. So everybody needs some level of accountability. Everybody does. If something's awkward, run to it, right? If something's going on in you that's uncomfortable, run to you, that part of you. And if you need further help, further understanding, go to a clinician, go to somebody, or talk about it to somebody who is skilled in that area and that can help you unpack, help you understand it, help you get remedy for it. Oh, I'm just going to pray about it. Listen, I love prayer, but God is telling you through prayer, get help. Get help that supersedes your understanding and your knowledge. When something happens to your car mechanically, you ain't laying hands on it. Oh, shut up. Father, fix it. You're going to a mechanic. Stop all that. You're bringing it to a dealership, right? And then in our physical body, there are specialists for every part of our body. Skin, we're going to the I forgot what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. What's the skin people? Dermatologist. You're going to the dermatologist. When it's your mouth and your teeth, you're going to some sort of dental, whatever it is. And there's about 5 different specialists for the dental, right? If it's your heart, you're going to a cardiologist, right? It's a fact. You're not going to the cardiologist for your eyes. They may know a little something about the eyes, but no, you're going to an optometrist for your eyes. So when we talk about strength, I love prayer. But after prayer, faith without works is dead. Hey, Ron, after prayer, works, it's time to work it. It's time to work it. So we can stay voluntarily in a thing. It's intentional. And we do more damage staying in certain things, being around certain things, because we prayed for him and her to change. All that prayer, all these years, nothing's happened. You're voluntarily there. It's not the devil or demon making you. It's something in you. And I understand that you can have all the hope in the world. I get it. Faith in God. But when you are praying to God to change a person, now you can make suggestions for them to get help, to go sit with somebody, go talk to somebody about it. But if they don't do it, if they refuse to do it, they think they don't need it, fine. That tells you, do I stay? You can stay and stay miserable, or you can move on with your life. Choosing you at times is one of the most difficult things in the world. Nobody's making you stay. You're volunteering to stay. You're volunteering to stay connected. You're volunteering to stay a part of. Will you ever become number one? No, you won't. Will you ever become, the center of their life? No, you won't. You're not. They don't know how to. It's a tough pill to swallow, but let's chase it. I'm gonna chase it down for you. I'm swallowing this for you. I just had to chase it. It's tough, but you need to hear this. You need to hear this. Count your losses. Somebody need to hear move on. It was a great run. You tried. You exhausted every level. It's time to move on. It's time to move on with what's left. You're getting older. Things are changing. Things are getting more expensive, and you have to choose you. I'd never said anything like this on this in this room. This is the first time, but I'm led by the Holy Spirit to tell you run. Get up, get out. Do it as peaceful, do it as civil as you can. Confront it, talk to them straight up. Now, they may want to change. They may want to get the help, but it should not have to come. Now, we don't know if they want to get it for them because they really want it, or are they getting it to keep you? That's the other decision. Are they getting help to keep you? Now, the prayer is that God sustains you until this disconnect is fully disconnected. Tie is fully cut. That's what I'm talking about. Why you someone just posted, why are you afraid to leave something that drains you? That is a good point. That is draining you when helping you is hurting me. And it's been this way for years. You are volunteering your gift, your time, your talent, your treasure. You're never getting time back. Time waits for nobody. Many times women do. Many times men do. We wait. People wait, right? So dealing with things that's not your issue, it will drain you. Somebody is just giving us some good points. It's exhausting. And you've been praying for a week. I'm sorry, a month. I'm sorry for a year. Sorry for 5 years. I'm sorry for 10 years. Sorry for 20 years. And it hasn't changed. You volunteered all that time and did not get any pay for it. You know, when somebody volunteers, there's no pay. There's none. You should not expect anything if you know you're volunteering your time. How are you going to demand something back when you volunteering? No, you're going to pay me for this. No, you volunteered your body, your money, your mind, your goods, your talents, your treasures. You picked up behind all the emotional damage that was done. You keep cleaning up stuff. And as long as you don't talk about it to him or her, they're okay. But you're imploding, you're suffering at their expense. You're voluntarily suffering. What are you going to do as a volunteer? What's the challenge? What's the change? How? And sometimes there's no easy way to unvolunteer. You just got to stop or renegotiate. Begin to renegotiate. I'm not doing this no longer. I'll give you a month. Get your house. Get if you're living with somebody, if you are in a relationship with somebody, is and you have things connected, give them some time. You know, however it is. And now, if you're not in the house with them and y'all cool, you can renegotiate the terms. Here's where I'm at. You can renegotiate. Don't ghost them. Talk to them. Tell them where you're at. Make it clear. Make it known. Don't run. Don't deflect. Don't hide. The reason why I'm big on renegotiating or negotiating your terms about you, because I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about me when I do renegotiate things. I have, because there are times I put my word out there that I'm going to do this for somebody and do that for somebody, and instead of me running and hiding and not taking their call, I'll tell them I can't do it, or I have to. This is not a good time for me to do it. So I gave them an answer, so they did not have to wonder what Marshall is doing. Here's what it is. Here's what it isn't. Here's what I can do. Here's what I can't do. Accept it or leave it. I told somebody if there are times I promised them somebody a certain amount of money and I couldn't give them the whole amount because of unforeseen circumstances. Called them and said, can't give you 100, but I got 25. Guess what they took? They took the 25. They took it. Now they can't say I didn't give them anything, can't say I didn't help, and they heard from me. When you ghost somebody or when somebody ghosts you, You have time, or they have time to put what they think is going on. Now, you may not care. I get it. Some folk don't care about ghosted. I just left them alone, didn't respond back, didn't call back. But if you're related to somebody, if you have to work with somebody, if you I think the most polite and kind thing you can do is disconnect on civil terms. They know where you're at. It's not a good time. Don't have to be long and drawn out. Listen, this is not a good time in my life. I thought I could, but I can't. And you don't owe them any other explanation. That renegotiating, pulling back, and why I'm pulling back, I just felt I gave you too much too soon. Because when you renegotiate and when you start making it about you, you're going to be labeled as acting funny. Oh, she changed. She thinks she better than. Oh my God. He changed. That's a part of the backlash of you recovering you. This is about you. You ending your voluntary days, your voluntary services. What happened? It's not your job to carry a full grown woman. It's not your job to carry a full grown man. It's not. It's not your job to fix nobody who don't want to be fixed. It's not. Your full grown children, siblings. You volunteering. Then you complain about volunteering. You complain about it. The nerve of you, right? You're a fawner, right? The fawner, that's a part of the trauma response. The fawner wants to please everybody. He's afraid to make enemies. You make yourself available to any and everybody, time, energy, money. And then when it's not reciprocated back, you go to the trauma response called fine, FINE. How are you? I'm fine. When you're not fine. I ain't hurt when you are hurt. That's what the fawner does. That's the response. And so how do you heal from that? How do you take back power? You take back power by locating you, identifying you, dealing with the uncomfortable part of what you've been given. And it's so uncomfortable that you don't want to deal with it. That's when you know you need to deal with it, right? That's when you know you need to find it. You can't guess at this. Got to deal with it straight up. Got to deal with you straight up. Got to see your cause, your part. Why am I like this? Why do I give so much? Locate this broken part and spend time with it. Unpack it. Don't run from it. If you have to spend the day in it, the week in it, the month in it, identifying you, do it. The best gift you can give yourself is to embrace your own uncomfortability because we respond to pain. If there's a pain on your body right now, if you're feeling the pain, you respond to it. You identify it and you go remedy it. You go bringing and providing comfort to it. Well, it's the same with you when dealing with you. I know this to be true. I know it to be true. I'm glad when stuff make me mad now. I'm glad when start feeling uncomfortable for me. I'm like, oh gosh, why did I just feel that way? Why did I? Not about her, him, them. Why am I so mad about that? Why did that bother me this way? I'm identifying and trying to track what's going on in me. Not her, not him, not them. It works. And religion has not taught us how to do that effectively. Not effectively. Bible study, I love breaking down the scripture. I can exegete a text. I love it. Past, present, future. Context, pretext, post text. I can love it. I love it. But now when it comes to dealing with us, individually, that's where it hurts. That's where it's challenged. That's why the doctor says, take this twice a day for the next 8 days. You'll feel better. They give you prescriptions, and I'm giving you prescription today on how to deal with you, how to make your mind your business by minding your business. right? How to make this about you and not her, not him, not them. How to stop volunteering you, giving you up for free and nothing coming back. How you gonna expect to get paid when you volunteer? You should not. Should not. So we learned today. We talked about post-traumatic stress disorder. I added current traumatic stress disorder because many of us are in currently in things that's bringing trauma, stress, and it's a disorder. It's a real thing. The trauma will produce drama. That rhymes, but I'm not trying to be a poet. It is legitimately a snapple fact that there's drama because of the trauma, the hurt. So they call it drama. Oh, she's so dramatic. He's so dramatic. When the reality is, it's from the legitimate, undiagnosed trauma. I ain't talking about her and him now. I'm talking about what's going on in you. The purpose of an MRI, purpose of an ultrasound, the purpose of a CAT scan, the purpose of an X-ray, the purpose of them taking blood and urine is for the pathologist to see what the naked eye can't see, so they can identify it without trying to guess at what it is. They can target it, see what it is, and give a proper plan of care. Give yourself time, give yourself empathy, give yourself sympathy, give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to grieve. He'll give you beauty for your ashes, oil of joy for your mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. I believe that. Give yourself time to grieve. Give yourself time to recover. All right? Make this about you. I love every one of you. Listen, we have our best friend Sunday coming up on this Sunday with all the sisters. This Sunday is Women's Day at the city, and I'm excited. And I would that you're so welcome, Lamisha. Thank you, and I pray that you would share this. I pray that you would share this platform. Let people know about this. Let people know about what's going on, and what we are about. I pray that you have an exceptional day, a day of recovery, a day of tracking you, not her, not him, not them. A day when you realize that you volunteered enough. You can't be a volunteer and get paid. You just can't. You shouldn't expect pay. Sunday, meet me at either location, right? 313 Meriden Road, 10 o'clock, or 627-29 Noble Avenue in Bridgeport on the corner of Noble and Jane at 12 noon. I love y'all. Have an amazing day, everybody, and be well.